Irish seafood. Easy to prepare and easy to cook. For everyday meals.
Today on my seafood trails, I'm in Galway, and I'm starting with a trip to catch lobsters with Kieran Oliver, departing from Cladachey, right in the heart of the city. So there's been great tradition of fishing here in this part of Galway.
For centuries, yeah. Actually, Clada actually dates back to the 12th century.
And is this something you've been doing all your life yourself?
Yes, our family, my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, we've been fishing and part of this community.
So tell me about your tour.
We do tours for the tourist market and for locals, and we train youngsters and the Sea Scouts. One aspect of the tour is the lobster safari. We partnered with a local restaurant, so we're going to go catching some lobsters. And this is a regular tour, catch some lobsters and later eat them in the restaurant.
You're a commercial fisherman, which is...
Yes, so our family are commercial fishermen. My brother, my uncles, myself, and so we catch lobsters commercially and we sell them to restaurants and some go for export. There's the hookers, the old fishing boats of the Clada. The boats are about 300 years old, right, the design. There would have been a lot of European trade here into Galway. Galway was the gateway to Europe, right, 300 or 400 years ago. We were importing wine and we were exporting fish, even back then. Hook and line fishing would have been the primary method of fishing, which is where the concept or the idea was taken from. And later nets and pots and creels and whatever. They're now used for leisure and pleasure and racing regattas, and we're actually involved in a community organisation that's helping to promote these local boats and get kids out sailing them in the next generation so they can live on.
So we're going out for lobsters. So what would be the season for catching lobsters?
Late April, May, they kind of start as the temperature rises. You know, they come out of hibernation because they hibernate for the winter. We could catch them up until the end of October, maybe. We then have another season over the winter months, which is the common prawn. We'll probably catch a few of them today as well.
And would you export a lot of your lobster and shrimp?
We do. Shrimp, certainly, and some lobsters are sold locally, you know, to some establishments or whatever, but a lot of it does go for export, yeah.
There's nothing beats our blue lobster here.
The Europeans, the French, the Spanish, they love the Atlantic, the Galway Bay lobster, the Atlantic lobster.
Because I think it is such a unique taste and texture.
You show me how to cook one.
Yeah.
We just boil it in a pot.
That's okay. Do you know what I think works well with lobsters? A bit of orange rind and a little bit of fennel seed works really well. And how many people would you have in the tour when you're
we take 12 on this boat. Our other vessels take 5 or 6 people out for, like, if it's a smaller group. It's just to show this is what's out here. With the partnership with the local restaurant, they can go in later and have their set menu.
So they go out and they catch the lobster with yourselves?
Yeah, and then later go and have it for dinner, yeah.
It's lovely for a family to do that and children and all.
Yeah,
it's so
of course.
educational.
And I think we take out school groups from time to time. We'd pull a lobster and we might have like dogfish in it, starfish, crabs, brown crab, velvet crabs. I like the whole interactive, hands-on kind of approach. We're just approaching the pot.
Here.
Where is she, Dave? Lovely. Okay, Nevens, job for you. You hook the boy. Just keep a look over the side.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, there she is now.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Now, will I help you pull?
We'll pull them up. No, you're right. You'll get dirty.
I'm not afraid of dirt. And how deep are we here now?
We're in about 5 or 6 meters of water.
All right. You don't wear gloves?
Nah, just used to it.
Yeah.
Hands like leather.
Oh yeah, there's the first one.
Oh, look, jackpot.
Wow. Oh, you crab.
The spider, that one.
Beautiful. Oh, look at it.
Lobster.
Beautiful. And you don't wear gloves? They'd nip you.
We would if we're baiting the pots or something.
That's as live as you'll get. Where do you just drop them in?
Yeah, I just put them in tail first. We just keep them separate so they won't go pinching each other.
Okay.
There's a spider crab.
That. Wow. So what's the bait?
So we've herrings.
Herrings, okay.
This fella.
Oh, that's a nice one. That's a beauty.
That's a juicy
A
one.
couple of kilo there. Yeah. Look at. Come on. So that goes in there too?
That goes in there. We just keep them separate there until we get the bands on them. Shrimp season is about to start, so we've this out for a kind of a tester pot, just to see how the size and stuff like that.
Would you do this now on the tours? Just
yeah, so we'd have maybe 2 pots on the tours.
Oh, look at it.
We get a basket there, guys.
Lovely.
Not so bad.
Look at it.
Yeah, they're decent size, medium prawn.
Yeah.
Nice for a prawn cocktail. One more pot here, Nevens. It was a heavy one. Must be a big one in this.
I think I bought you luck today, Kieran.
I have to come out here more often. Lovely.
What have we got?
Another couple of small ones in there.
So the lobsters go in the far end, is it in there?
Yeah, so they're going in like there's a little ramp. Look, it's like a little ramp
Yes.
at the entrance there. So they're attracted by the bait.
When would you put that down?
4 or 5 days now.
Okay.
This is a gauge so for lobsters. Conservation measure this.
Very
Minimum
important.
landing size for lobsters for us is 87 millimeters. So we measure here from the back of the eye socket. So that guy is under, so he gets returned to sea for sustainability.
Of course.
So here's a female lobster, right? Okay, got the eggs on it. But here's an interesting point, right? So we've got V-notch. So we V-notched the tails. It's a V-notch scheme. What this means is when we take a clip out of the tail like this lobster then can't be sold, right? Or can't be caught legal and sold. It takes about 4 years for that to grow out of that lobster. So then she can go on, obviously, to have these babies. And want to get some bands on the lobsters? Get that on the end there, so leave it closed.
Would they give you a nip? Silly question.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
Yeah.
certainly. They're strong for this. Right, let's put it out. Lovely job.
Fantastic.
These guys in here. Get them ready for the pot of a different sort, I suppose, of a different type.
That's it.
Yeah. We're going to just prevent them drying out, so we'll just put them in like that. Right, we'll just get a bucket of water and we just soak them, and that keeps them fresh, keeps them alive.
Lovely. Kieran, you kind of forget how hard you work,
I know.
fishermen. So we have to do it justice.
That's them there now. Dampen them down a bit, keep them from drying out, and we'll go shoot our pots again. Bon voyage.
And in a go.
There you go.
Bye.
Adios.
Fantastic.
Till the next day. Till the next day. All right, Dave. What's on?
Kieran runs his tours in conjunction with Rouge, one of the city's restaurants, and customers take their lobsters back to the chef who cooks them. Today, the chef has come to the quayside here in the Claddagh. We've had such a great morning out in the boat fishing lobsters with Kieran. What a guy. So you're going to show me how you cook yours in Rouge.
Yes, I'm going to cook a half lobster for you today.
So what have you done already?
So I've split the lobster in half, removed the legs and the claws, and just prepared it then for saute, you know. So a little bit of oil into the pan, and a little bit of butter as well.
Now there's something in that butter. What is it?
That's a garlic and herb butter. So there
Good.
is tarragon and parsley and a little bit of garlic in there. And I'm just going to brush the lobster with the butter.
Lovely. And the claws are kind of smashed.
The claws I've broken, yeah, just to help get the heat in there and let the butter soak in.
Cut side down.
Cut side down, yeah. And in with the claws there as well. Thank you.
Gorgeous. Now how long do you cook this for?
30 seconds to a minute on this side.
So is this a dish on the menu in Rouge?
It is, yes, yeah.
You turn it over.
Turn it over there now, yeah. A little bit of colour there, and I'll baste that again with the butter, just to stop it from drying out, and cover that there to help it cook.
Okay, so that's going to
So that's going to speed up a little bit of cooking there now, yeah. This pan then, I'm going to start with some shallots. For a lemon beurre blanc, the juice of half a lemon there, in on top of the shallots. In with a bit of
pan.
preheated pan, yes, yeah. In with a little bit of white wine. Cook that down a little bit there now.
This dish would be on the menu, so when they come from the tour with Kieran, do they go to the restaurant in Rouge
They
and
do,
have this?
yeah. When they catch a lobster out there, they can come into us and we'll cook it up for them. So I'm just going to add some cream in here now to the
Some
sauce.
regular cream?
Regular
Okay.
double cream, yeah.
There's your whisk if you need it.
Lovely, thank you. So again, I'll just let that come up to a slight simmer.
Do you always serve it with a sauce in Rouge?
Generally, we just serve it with the garlic butter.
That's it, natural.
Yeah, just natural, yeah. Sauce is coming up to a simmer there now. I'll just whisk in some of the cubes of cold butter, a couple at a time, 3 at a time there. The butter is cold, so when you whisk it into the hot liquid, then it helps to emulsify it.
Of course.
And that will kind of thicken up the sauce a little bit. The sauce is kind of ready
Happy
there
with
now.
that? Yeah, and make a bit of roux.
Plate up, yeah.
So how do you know when it's cooked?
Well, the shell will change colour there. It'll go a nice red colour, like that. When the meat is kind of firm and white like that and cooked through, that's it.
Will I help you?
Yes, yeah.
There you go. Doesn't get fresher than this.
No, I
Just
know.
caught it 5 minutes out in the
cooked.
ocean. So would this be a normal serving?
Depending on the size of the lobster, you know, if
course.
it's very big, we'll serve just half.
And would you normally serve any vegetables?
We do, yeah. We have side dishes with it. What I'm serving with it today is just a nice little salad, just some mixed leaves and some onion and some cherry tomatoes. Lovely colours as well.
Yeah, exactly. So now, ready for tasting. And it's just flaking away, beautifully cooked. I want to taste some of your lovely sauce. Oh, that's a great combination. It's really tender, moist, delicious. To think that the lobster just caught behind us in Galway Bay, cooked in the Claddagh. Well done, Dave. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Nevens.
Keep up the
Thank
great
you.
work. Whiting is a really good fish. It's plentiful, good value, and a really delicate flavour. And in this recipe, I'm going to crispy fry it, serve it with some apple and mango salad. Really tasty and really quick. That's the beautiful thing about it. So it's filleted, no bones, no skin. It's going to be delicious. Before I show you the really crispy, lovely coating for that, I'm going to do a little bit of a salad. Some mango and some apple. And remember, mango has a flat stone in the middle. So that's more than enough for me here. And then cut this. And then using a smaller knife, probably a little bit safer, slide this back here. So it's lovely and sweet and will work really well. Then we're going to cut this into little sticks. So very, very thinly cut it. And this is what we call a little baton. Small little strips of fresh mango. You can, if you want, to put a little bit of lemon zest or lime zest, a little bit of chili oil, because that gives great flavour. You can make a little bit of salsa with this, but we're going to keep it just very simple. So that's more than enough there. A little bit of apple. An apple is great. And you're thinking apple with fish? I'm not sure. This is a nice, firm, sweet apple. So it's going to give great crunch and great texture. And then into little strips. So if you gather it all up, so the mango can be done ahead, but the apple has to be done fresh. Great crunch, delicious. Okay, on to our coating. So we have plain flour in here, a little bit of chili powder, some curry powder. I'm using mild curry powder in this, and then some sesame seeds. And then you mix this all together. You can actually put this into a bag and give it a really good shake, and you can keep it in your fridge. So this is our whiting, little goujons. In here, all I've done is just some cream, the juice of 1 lemon, 2 egg whites, and you blend it just in a little hand blender. You can use a NutriBullet, and that's all that's in there. So that just goes in here, 3 or 4 of them. Keep one hand in the cream and egg mixture, and then the other hand here. So what you need to do is just completely press in the flour. See the way I'm doing that? Just with the back of the hand. Turn it over, make sure it's all completely coated, and that's it done. We're going to cook it in a wok with a little bit of oil. So a good tip for you, I'll just get a little bit of basil, and then I'm going to wash my hands. And this will go in, and when the basil begins to crackle, so just be careful. So that's a sign that the oil is hot enough. So just be careful with this. Here it's sizzling. So this is just some vegetable oil I'm using, and they'll cook so fast. I'm going to show you very quick mayonnaise, some regular shop-bought mayonnaise, a little bit of red curry paste, but a spoonful of that, and then some lime juice. So a little squeeze of this. And I'm going to use the same whisk that I used for the flour. Save on the wash up. Now it looks great. Nice bit of colour from the red curry paste, and of course the lime juice gives a great refreshment. We're going to lift these out. So literally only take a couple of minutes. I'm just going to cut into one and show you. Just with the knife. Beautiful. Moist, cooks quick. It's a great little dish. So we'll serve this up. What I've done, and this is kind of a very chefy thing, a squeezy bottle is a great thing because it just makes the mayonnaise, and this is the mayonnaise in it, just come out a little bit easier. So you can have this as a lovely little starter, if you're having a dinner party, something like that. And then we just arrange just 3. Then our lovely salad. And you just sprinkle this just all over, and then the mango. So it's a really interesting combination. You have the crispness of the apple, the sweetness and the softness of the mango, and then the lovely heat from the curry mayonnaise. A couple of little salad leaves, and these are just some microgreens here. Or rocket would work really well. A couple of edible flowers. You have viola, a little bit of borage. Beautiful. Everything's edible bar the plate. And I have a couple of little chive sticks. You have texture, you have flavour. So there's a very easy dish, great texture, and a great showcase for whiting.
Bordbia, bringing Irish seafood to the world. Bordbia, bringing Irish seafood to the world.
If you like fresh fish and you're lucky enough to live near a fishmonger, make sure you support them. But if you don't live near a fishmonger, you can now buy beautiful fresh fish online. Gannett Fishmongers in Galway City is Ireland's largest online fishmonger. Stefan Griesbach supplies restaurants and households throughout the country with fresh, sustainably caught Irish fish, including some lesser known but equally delicious species that are definitely worth a try.
In Ireland, we have a lot of trawlers, okay, and they're catching then mixed bags of fish. So my point here is like, no, eat more fish, but eat more of the fish. Just don't eat cod, just don't eat egg, but just try to eat the full catch. Let's not export everything or throw out fish, trying to make the best out of what we catch. And this is really sustainable for me.
You have a fabulous display of fish, some I've never heard of. Like there's one there, you have the Sweaty Betty. Tell me about this one.
Sweaty Betty, the official name is a forkbeard.
It looks similar to hake, is it?
It's similar to hake. I compare it often between haddock and red mullet. When it's cooked, the texture is slightly like red mullet, but with the flavor of haddock. It's a lovely fish. It used to be trash.
We're not eating enough whiting. It's a fabulous fish. You have it skinned, pin boned.
Well,
it's fantastic.
yeah, whiting is good for children. Like, no, it's cheap, inexpensive fish. We can debone it, we can skin it. It's very versatile. People have that concept of whiting being full of bones and tasteless. Well, we're kind of trying to prove like, no, the opposite. Like,
now, these are very interesting. White fish goujons.
Simple to cook, a little bit of breadcrumb. A few minutes in the pan, there's no bones, there's no skins. So it suits everybody, like no children and grown-up who are a bit afraid of fish.
And is it one variety here or a mix?
With a bit of a mix, it depends on, like, it's catch of the day. So, like, 1 week we'll have haddock, another week we'll have hake or we'll have cod, depending on what the catch. Like, we tend to use smaller size fish, part of the fish to make goujon, and the other part we use it into our fish mix.
What's this one here?
So that's a collie. Everybody's familiar with collie in Ireland as a smoked collie. The real name of collie is black pollock. Nobody eats fresh black pollock. But with a bit of effort here, we've actually created a demand in the market for more customers to that fish because it's lovely. Again, no bone, no skin, and it's very flavorsome. You need to know how to cook it. This is the thing. That's why we have to give recipe. A fish like this needs to be brined.
Oh.
You brine it a little bit for like 10 minutes. It firms up the fish, and then you start cooking it again.
When you do your markets, would you have this display of fish?
Different setup, but will be the same selection. Our point is we try to sell whatever we can buy.
You have a couple of markets, and you have an electric car, I'm told?
Yeah, we have an electric van as well. We're very much focused on the environment. The electric van wasn't very expensive to buy, and now we're on the road for free. Nearly, like, no, it's a great little machine. It's lovely to drive as well. Like,
Stefan, this is a very interesting fish, the red Gurnard.
One of those fish that, like, no, not known in Ireland. It's very tasty. It's a medium oily fish. Fisherman would be trying it out, like, no, unless we create a demand for it. So it's lovely little fillet, and it'll go, like, no, nicely pan fry or in a curry.
When your customers come in here, you'll fillet, you'll pin bone, you'll do the whole thing so people won't be intimidated getting a fish like that.
We're fishmongers, so we'll fillet anything on that display. It's part of, like, part of what we do.
And what about the congaree?
Quite bony. We cannot remove the bone on the congaree, I have to be honest. But it's full of flavor. Back home in France, we use that fish for soup. Boil it into, like, you make soup with it, liquidize it, a few tomatoes, celery, some fennel, and saffron, and that's it. Fish soup is made,
So, Stefan, the online, how does it work?
The online started about 3 years ago, where we, we had people coming to us at the market, traveling from places like Tipperary, Athlone. So we just kind of thought, okay, let's try to make it a little bit easier for them and others to get our fish. So we spent about 2 years trying to develop a website and trying to find a system which be bulletproof so that customers can get fresh fish in within 24 hours. So people order before 2 p.m., get their home delivery in the following day, or we also have a different system which is called a click and collect. So we have a network of butchers and shops around the country. We have about 20 of them at the moment. People will order from us online, small amount of fish, and get it delivered to their local every week. The idea is great because it means they're getting fresh fish all the time. And it's a way for us as independent artisans to work with other independent artisans as well.
So when people order, Stefan, you fillet it, bone it, whatever they want?
Whatever they want, just like if they were to come here. So they will buy a portion of turbot, which is a set weight. We give them the price per kilo so they can compare our prices with maybe their local shop. And then we give them a number of options on how we will prepare the fish for them. So they can have the turbot without the head. They can have the turbot skin. We can have turbot trim, filleted. It all depends what they want. And
exactly.
It's all about preset. So it's just like coming here, but online 24/7.
That's genius.
Good, yeah, thank you.
I think you're fantastic, you and your team. Thanks for having me here. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Oscar's Seafood Bistro has been part of Galway's restaurant scene for many years, and its owner is head chef Michael O'Mara. Michael, thank you for having me in your kitchen.
Nevin, good to see you again.
So what dish are you going to cook for me today?
What I want to do is a lovely healthy type dish, which is using beans, lots of vegetables, and a lovely fish called red Gurnard, also known as sea robins. With this dish, I'm going to get my pot. I'm going to put a little
nice and hot.
of oil into it, and I'm going to put some onions,
Okay.
a few carrots, red pepper, a little bit of celery, and some leeks.
All pre-chopped.
Stir those around a little bit. Now, this is something you have to be careful with. I'm going to use a thing called a habanero chili. Now, put a little bit of chili directly in.
So how much are you putting in there?
A couple of grams. Use them extremely cautiously. Habaneros, they'll take the head off you. They've got a lovely flavour to them.
Yeah.
Unlike many of the other chilies. You can
Okay.
taste that they're there. Also into this, I'm going to put a wee bit of fennel seed, a little bit of black pepper, building up the spice into it. Add a little bit of water. Next into that, put some of these lovely Millhouse organic tomatoes, just little pockets of flavour. I'm going to put a generous amount of garlic. Now, I've pureed this with a tad of oil. About a full bulb of garlic. What I'm going to use here is a lovely little selection of beans. Chickpeas, red kidney beans, cannellé beans, borlottis. I've soaked them overnight in cold water. Take them out, drain them, wash them into a pot with lightly salted water. Cook them until they just become tender. Pop those in. It's a little bit of chopped tomato, just normal tinned, good quality tinned tomatoes. Finally, I'm going to add a little bit of smoked paprika.
I love that.
Great ingredient, isn't it? Top it up till I'd cover the beans with a little bit of water. You don't need stocks or anything else. There's loads of veg. This in itself would be a gorgeous little vegetarian dish. And let them simmer away for about half an hour. This is the Gurnard, little shellfish eater. Some fish are better to come from the top when you're filleting. Gurnard is better to start from the belly area. I'm just going to remove the fillet, so just take it off like so. This is one of the round fish. It's a bottom dweller. Trim the belly. Just a little bit. And then you just have a few little pin bones up along here. Yeah. Now, you could use a little pin boner and take them out. What we'll do is do a little bit of surgery. The Gurnard is a close relative to the scorpion fish. It's not actually one of the scorpion fish, but there's a lot of sharp spines, so just be a little careful in that. What I'm doing is taking out those little few bones there.
And of course, you're a fishmonger with the dish.
Fishmongers will do everything. I've got a little pan heating here, and what I'm going to use is, this is Connemara Seaweed Company. It's a selection of sugar kelp, wakame, oarweed, kombu is what the Japanese call it, and dillisk. A little bit of sea salt in there, and some, just a little bit of black pepper.
Gorgeous.
It's about 60% of seaweed, this. That allows me to completely reduce my salt. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just throw a tiny, like literally quarter dribble of olive oil into the pan. I don't need a lot. And it doesn't matter if you put the Gurnard down. I'll put this over here so you can actually see what I'm doing. You see how little oil I've used? That's all I need. I don't want a big fatty dish. So I'm going to get a little drop of water. I'm just going to pop that on, like that. There's enough residual heat in that pan to finish that fish. So I could just leave that off and come back in 10 minutes and it'll be cooked. And it will not overcook.
Could you cook haddock, whiting?
Every type of fish. Pan steaming. And because it's a relatively low temperature, not frying and frying and frying, and protecting those fatty acids. This is the casserole we made earlier. That's been cooked down, and that'll hold for a number of days in your fridge.
Okay.
You could even eat it cold as a salad.
That's tasty.
I'm going to just put a couple of spoonfuls in the pan with the fish, and essentially poaching this fish. A little bit more water in that, about so much water. It doesn't matter, because I want it nice and moist. And I'm going to just tear a little piece of this lovely spinach, just locally grown spinach.
So you're going to wilt that.
We're just going to cover this over with the lid, and I'm going to let it build up a little bit of heat for a few seconds, and then I'm just going to push it to the side.
And that's it.
Let the residual heat take care of it.
Horses. Wow, brilliant. And what else are you making here?
Now, what I'm going to do is this zog, which is a lovely little sauce, whole green chili, jalapeno. You could take the seeds out, and there's a tremendous lot of chili in this, and you're going to get a bit worried about it at first.
this is...
Then I'm going to use lightly toasted cumin. I just got the cumin seeds, put them on a dry pan, give them a little bit of a toss. A little bit of garlic. This has been blended with a tad of oil, just to get it nice and pureed, so the liquidizer is something to catch. And yes, we're using a lot of garlic as well, and you'd think this sauce would never work. Tad of salt. I don't want to make it too seasoned. And lemon juice, I froze. Because when you're using these liquidizers, they create a lot of heat. So if you freeze your lemon juice, it keeps the sauce a little bit fresher. Some olive oil. I have a guy called Brave Bull who brings it in from Spain, and it's a little small village co-op. 3 or 4 guys with little farms, and they're more like a juice almost than an olive oil. Into that, blend it up, and here I have coriander, a little bit of flat leaf farce because it kind of takes the edge off the garlic a little bit, and a few sprigs of mint, and blend it up. Zog, isn't it a great name? And there we go.
This is totally new for me now.
Just going to have a wee tasting.
Yes, okay. It's good.
Cumin seems to cut through it, and it's really zingy. We'll do a little unveiling. with a little bit of spinach. And this is how I like to serve it. I just get it like that.
You just pour it in like that.
Well,
Brilliant.
and lazy. Put a dollop of the zog on top. I'll just use it straight from here. These are just a few little leaves, so just put them on the top. And away you go. If you like, you can just put a little drizzle of olive oil. And that's it, done.
Fantastic. Michael, can't wait to taste this. It's just flaking away the fish. I'm going to taste a little bit of everything now. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it
It's
really
so fresh,
needs-
the zog. There's a lovely balance of heat. My mouth is not burning.
Yeah,
It's
you'd think with the
delicious.
amount of chili used, the Arabic cuisines, they seem to have nailed how to get that subtleness, the freshness of the zog,
Beautiful
mixes
dish.
with the cooked dish.
Beautiful. You're a gent. Thank you so much.
Great having
Great
you.
dish.
Thank you.
Irish seafood. Easy to prepare and easy to cook. For everyday meals.